Hello Real Pros! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Richard C, your real property expert. I hope you are all keeping safe and keeping healthy, still alive and kicking. And because nagustuhan nyo yung last property review natin, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. I know you enjoyed it. Gagawa na naman tayo ng bago. I know your most requested property is Air Residences by SMDC. Isusunod ko na yun, but for now, dito muna tayo sa katabi, which happens to be the Rise by Shang Properties. Okay, so the Rise Makati by Shang Properties, if merong property na I did miss in terms of its investment potential or probably I did not believe in its potential growth, ito yon. So dito ako nagkamali sa property na to. Why? Because the location of this property is actually in North of Makati or also known as NOMA. But years before, NOMA was really far from Ayala Avenue. Parang it's not really that walking distance. But due to the current development and office spaces, condominiums, one after the another, tabi-tabi siya, it became agglomerated. It became connected. So now it's surrounded by commercial establishments, it's surrounded by office spaces, and you can actually walk from this part to the end of Makati up to Ayala Triangle. So it's really a good location, and it's in the center of two cities as well, which happens to be if you're going to MOA or Pasay, you can pass by this direction, or if you're going to Makati Central Business District. In terms of location, it used to flood in this area before. Konting ulan lang hanggang tuhod na yung baha. So a lot of people did not want to buy in this property. But because of the development potential, and there are two major properties that was being developed, which happens to be Air and the Rise, the road was really improved, and with a lot of road works, the flooding improved already. So wala na talagang flooding dyan pag umulan. So if I would have rated this property before, I would probably give it a 3 or even a 2. But right now, it's actually a 5 for the location. In terms of the building and the interior, the building is actually 63 stories tall. So medyo mataas siya. And the shape of the building is the same as a propeller of the helicopter. So pag ganun siya. And then you have your west wing, east wing, and north wing. So on the ground floor, you have the commercial space and the retail. It's called the assembly ground. So it's filled with restaurants. There's Starbucks reserved. It's actually very nice. But the interior from the ground floor up to the lobby, it's actually modern industrial, which it uses a lot of warm wood, and it's really cool, very millennial, very modern, pero the sophistication is still there. It wasn't sacrificed. It did not look like a middle-end property of the development. It really looked like a high-end property. So for the building and the interior, I'm giving it a 5. So in terms of the layout, you have your 28 square meter for a 1-bedroom, or I call this a studio unit because there is a semi-divider as well. It's not fully divided, but your interior again can, have it fully divided. And 74 square meter for a 2-bedroom unit. The thing with the floor layout is it's quite dense because it's 55 units per floor. But then there are 3 wings. You have your west, east, and north. I think if you want a property with the view of the Manila Bay, you have to buy from the north wing. So in terms of the layout, it's actually utilized despite the sizes being small. But you can do a lot with the interior of this unit because it actually has a good layout. But due to the density, I'm giving the layout and floor plan a rating of 4. So in terms of the amenities, there are actually 23 amenities, which is quite a lot for a Makati development because Makati is known to have small development with high, tall buildings now to maximize the space. So there are 3 main amenities aside from the pool and the very world-class 2-floor gym. First is the hangout, wherein you have your game room with karaoke and billiards. The concept of this one is because the unit is actually quite small, it's hard to entertain guests or visitors. So there is a space to do that, and without getting bored, you can actually do all these recreational things. And then you have the workshop. The workshop is a co-working space. It's actually meant for IT professionals because there's a lot of IT professionals in Makati. But it can also serve as a library. And the goal of this space is actually to build collaboration within residences, probably build a startup business or share entrepreneurial skills, which is actually a very good concept. That's why they call it the workshop. And the third one is the nest, which is my favorite. It's actually a relaxation area. There are swinging hammocks, or popularly known as duyan. There are comfortable seats, and you can actually see the garden terraces from inside. The good thing about this one is they use glass walls. So kahit nasa loob ka, and kita mo yung garden sa labas, so hindi mo na kailangan ma-feel yung humidity. Especially Makati is quite hot and humid. So you can still relax and enjoy nature kahit naka-aircon ka sa loob ng lounge. I'm really impressed with the amenities because you only see these amenities in luxury development properties. And again, the Rise in Makati is a middle-end property, but it actually exceeded the expectation. If there is one developer na I said before, the other developers talagang kamukhang-kamukha nila yung 3D. But if there is one developer that could actually create a better development than their 3D, it's Shang Properties. So in terms of amenities, I would have given this 6 kasi sobrang ganda talaga nung amenities niya. But then our maximum rating is 5. So 5 star for the amenities. So in terms of the price, the property was actually launched in 2013 at around 2.2 million. Wow, that was very cheap. And currently, it's selling at 5.8 million. Recent transaction, you can actually negotiate up to 5.5 million. So that's around 163% ROI. Currently, it's 215,000 per square meter. But I know this is quite high, but I think the potential of the property could reach as high as 7.5 million pesos for a studio unit. So there is still space for growth. But what you have to remember, the average rental here is around 30,000, and a lot of interior units are being marketed at 35,000, 38,000, and even 40,000 because a lot of units have nice interiors in this property. So in terms of price, I was thinking if I would give it a 4, but then there is still high potential for growth. There is high rental. It means you'll get an above average yield. So, and the only reason why I'm not buying in this property is because I'm not a fan of Makati. But if it's located elsewhere, I'll probably buy it at a good price. So again, I think the price deserves a rating of 5. So to recap, in terms of the location, because it's located in NOMA or North of Makati, which is now connected to Ayala Extension and probably walkable, I'm giving it a rating of 5. And in terms of the building interior, because the use of modern industrial design and warm wood, which this is not very common in condominium properties in the Philippines, but common in luxury hotels around Asia, I'm giving it 5 as well. And in terms of the layout and floor plan, due to the density, I'm giving it 4. And in terms of the amenities, again, I want to give it a 6, but then 5 is the maximum rating here. And in terms of price, there is still value for growth as long as you can negotiate the price to 5.5 million and probably earn as high as, probably earn in terms of capital appreciation as high as 7.5 million. I'm giving it a 5. So I think I'm very fond of this property. So I hope I wasn't so biased, but I think they really deserve this rating. So the total rating is actually 4.8, and it's gonna be hard to beat. I don't think I'm gonna rate any other property higher than this one. But please watch out for my future reviews. Malay nyo, merong mas mataas na rating dito. And to be able to do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you enjoy this one and you agree with my rating, please comment it down below. Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts. Again, this is Richard Carvajal, your real property expert, and I'll see you next time.